Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 7th of November. We're seeing a bit of a swing in progress here in terms of this market. I questioned whether we'd see this coming on Monday afternoon when I did the weekly outlook, and it does look like, well, it's doing all the right things. Now, I talked recently about high lows, high highs, and well, we've just confirmed a pretty decent higher low there. Now, whether this will hold, we'll see. The results last night of the US midterm elections gave the Democrats the gain control of the House, and the Republicans have kept hold of the Senate, which was widely expected, apparently. But now the markets have sort of chopped all over the place but it does weaken Trump's hand, so it does add to uncertainty. So this could see or continue the sort of catalyst sort of movement of a slightly weaker dollar for now at least. So what have we done now? We've put a as I say, higher low in this time frame. The 60 minutes is a mess, and well, looking at what we're seeing here, that it sort of contradicts what I'm saying elsewhere in terms of the highs haven't managed to make each of these highs looks a little bit weaker at the moment. Now we're yet to see what happens here. This bar obviously isn't closed. Okay, it's a 30-minute chart, and you put it into a 60-minute chart, may look a little bit better for you, but all the same, it's not convincing at the moment either way, and we may be in for a bit more chop as we go through the morning. We've got very little out news-wise aside of the sort of Brexit stuff going on, so it could just chop around. I'm thinking, well, if we get a breakout, I'll be trying to ride the breakout upwards. So the range yesterday was so tight because of the midterm elections, and now we got the midterm elections, and now we've gone into this sort of pretty wide, volatile, whipsaw-y sort of price action. So not clear, but my thoughts are with again, you can see it to a degree, the sort of higher highs coming in, lows a bit more choppy, but still that significant lows being put in there, I would suggest, and maybe we could see some further upside. So erring towards the upside, but as I say, it's a bit contradicted by the whip and the near-term weakness. So the pound. The pound seems to be holding its own. Daily wise, it's just continuing to. It broke out yesterday, followed through today. It was a little bit, well, say a little bit. It was whipsaw-y to a degree yesterday in the short-term time frames. It's a slow, steady push up here. There's an expectation that there will be an agreement on Brexit by the looks of things, or the way this market's just working its way up. There's not too much negative Brexit stuff coming through, but there's traces that there may be deals to be made and cabinet meetings to be had. So it's sort of feeding the pound at the moment to the upside. My concern is we'll get a rejection sort of comment come through, and it will sell off quite quickly, obviously very quickly, and give way all the gains here. So there's always that risk. Of course, any positive statement will do quite the opposite, but for now, there is that element of risk. Wisely chosen trades can provide us some decent returns, but there we are. Currently, well, I should imagine there's a bit of a minor divergence at the highs there, but again, very iffy. But got the potential pushing on again. Yesterday, tight range. Previous day, tight range. Look how tight these pivots are, and again today. But as I said, upward trend. Maybe looking to buy into longs, buy into retracements for longs. Okay, dollar yen, what a mess. I've left my charts on last night, and the dollar yen was what I woke up to. I say woke up, came down to see. It sounds like I woke up next to my screens. I'm not that sad. What we've done here on the daily at the moment is a bearish engulfing, but in a key reversal bar, but of course it's not finished yet, so can't take too much into that. But yesterday was continuing that track up. Now, I've been talking about the weekly pivot. It's looking probably more likely to be hit now than before. Now, keep on mentioning about the yen as being a bit of a safety currency. Well, it's just whipped the same way pretty much as the euro. It sold off while the euro was pushing up. It was bought when the euro was being sold. It's pretty much the same, although not quite so bearish looking, or say bullish looking here. Whereas the euro looks a bit on the bearish side, failing to make new highs. Yen's still got the potential to run down further here. We'll see. Still, there's not a lot to say else on that. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar retaining its yesterday, managed to push up like many of the pairings. It just continued up against the US dollar with the uncertainty with the US dollar. It managed to push up. Maybe it looks a little bit better. It's still got a weekly pivot below, so any sort of sudden sell-off, it would become a great target. But for now, you can't avoid the fact that, well, there you go, same sort of choppiness, bit stronger, pushed into a new high through the Asian session there, and well, trying to still push up there. Very few points in this market at the moment. Is the average true range is pretty light. What's it? 59 pips. It pitched up for one day, but it's been sitting there 55 to 60 pips for a while now. So makes an intraday currency, makes it not very useful when you want 30-40 pips out of a market, maybe, or the chances of getting something out of 50 is less unless you're swing trading, of course. Okay, talking of swing trades, we discussed this yesterday in our trading room. It's for intraday trading. It's more traders lose money on the Canadian dollar than anything else, it would appear. It's certainly the weakest of them all, and in terms of making people money, and it is the choppiest, and it can flash back, and it has weekly, and I say weekly, daily wise, this is still in a bullish trend with the higher lows, higher highs that have been pushing through here on a daily, and has potential to run through. I'd like to have seen it hit the monthly pivot there, and well, we'll see what happens with the US dollar over the next day or so. It could all reverse on this and pull back in, but we'll see. For now though, pitching up, messy, as are all of the others. So there we are. Not a lot of guidance on this one. My as I say, bigger picture still says to the long side, opportunities to buy in on retracements are possible. Okay, and finally, well, today news-wise, all we've got is the New Zealand rate at 8 PM, and then at 9 PM the New Zealand bank press conference there. So it's not expected to be any changes there, but the New Zealand dollar's been picking up, and pulling a daily there, and it's been pitching up pretty strongly over the last week, holding its own there since last was that Thursday, and then Friday sold off a little bit, but just held in, and then we've seen 3 good days so far. So holding its own there, broken its trend, higher low confirmed, as I said. It's still pushing up at the moment, but well, there is key news on that later on, and that will make it or break it, I'm sure. Okay, have a great one. Bye for now.